Scary movie tops box office, slaying Masters of the Universe and adding to low-budget streak. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share New York app. The summer box office is booming, but not because of the usual suspects. After 3 weeks of indie horror dominance at the box office, the slasher spoof Scary Movie topped ticket sales with $55 million over the weekend, according to studio estimates Sunday, easily besting the far-from-mighty Masters of the Universe. A new order has lately come to movie theaters, which have seen Gen Z ticket buyers flock to the horror hits Obsession and Backrooms, both made by YouTubers-turned-filmmakers. Those movies have even outshone the Walt Disney Company's Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. This weekend, comedy was the underdog champ. Though the genre has been all but left for dead in theaters, the sixth Scary Movie notched a franchise best $105.5 million global launch. The Wayans brother comedy even outdid its primary satirical target, the Scream franchise. Earlier this year, Scream 7 debuted with $97 million worldwide. Both franchises are distributed by Paramount Pictures, though Miramax produced the new Scary Movie. Co-written by Marlon, Sean, Keenan, and Craig Wayans, the sequel marks the Wayans' return to the franchise after their departure over creative differences following 2001 Scary Movie 2. "This is an outstanding opening for a comedy sequel this far into the series," said David A. Gross, who runs the movie consulting firm Franchise Re. "It's a huge bounce back after the last episode crashed in 2013 when Anna Faris and Regina Hall were excluded. The weekend figure is triple the average for the genre." Read more reviews were good. 26% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and audience scores a B. Cinema score were so-so. But that didn't stop the $30 million Scary Movie from dominating its much bigger budget competition. Masters of the Universe, a sword and sorcery action-adventure based on the 1980s animated series and metal toys, failed to revive the dormant franchise. The Amazon MGM release, the second Masters of the Universe film following a 1987 movie of the same title, opened with $29.3 million domestically. Masters of the Universe, starring Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man, added $25 million overseas. But for a film that cost nearly $200 million to produce, a much higher launch was needed to make profitability likely. It's Mattel Studios' first release since 2023 Barbie. But after the extraordinary $1.45 billion success of that film, Masters of the Universe will be closer to a flop for the toy company. A24's Backrooms, last weekend's top release, slid steeply on its second weekend, dropping 68% with $25.9 million. But Backrooms, a $10 million movie based on 20-year-old Kane Parsons' YouTube series, remains a record-breaking phenomenon. It's now A24's highest-grossing film ever with $212 million worldwide, moving ahead of Marty Supreme. In a near tie for third place, Focus Features' Obsession grossed $25.6 million in its fourth weekend. That marked a paltry 7% drop from the previous weekend for 26-year-old Curry Barker's horror sensation. Not accounting for inflation, no horror movie has ever had a better fourth weekend. Obsession, about a man who wishes his crush returned his affections, was made for less than $1 million. It's now grossed $152.1 million domestically and $224.8 million worldwide, a record for Focus. In its third weekend, The Mandalorian and Grogu fell all the way to sixth place with $10 million. It was even bested by Fathom Entertainment's The Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, a combination of the last 2 episodes of the animated series. It collected $12.7 million. A few other movies hit milestones. Lionsgate's Michael Jackson biopic Michael became the studio's highest-grossing film ever with $898 million globally. That puts it ahead, not accounting for inflation, both the highest-grossing entries in the studio's Twilight and Hunger Games franchises. And 2026 got its first billion-dollar movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie crossed $1 billion worldwide for Universal. The weekend overall was up a remarkable 63% from the same weekend last year, according to ComScore. Ticket sales on the year are up more than 13%. Next weekend, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day debuts. Top 10 movies by domestic box office, with final domestic figures being released Monday. This list factors in estimated ticket sales for Friday through Sunday at U.S. and Canadian theaters, according to ComScore. 1. Scary Movie, $55 million. 2. Masters of the Universe, $29.3 million. 3. Backrooms, $25.9 million. 4. Obsession, $25.6 million. 5. The Amazing Digital Circus, The Last Act, $12.7 million. 6. Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu, $10 million. 7. Michael, $7.7 million. 8. The Breadwinner, $3.4 million. 9. Pressure, $3 million. 10. The Devil Wears Prada 2, $2.8 million.